Hi, welcome to our starter video on Azure Network Interface Card. In this video, we'll break down the key fields you see when working with this resource to give you a clear idea of how to configure it. Let's get started. Name defines the unique name for your network interface card. It should be a unique string within your resource group. Location specifies the Azure region where this resource will be deployed. Tags help organize and categorize your resources. They use key value pairs to label the network interface card instance. Extended location section contains details of custom location information in case the deployment is planned for custom edge location. Name refers to edge zone ID, and type specifies the extended location type. It can only take the value of edge zone. Auxiliary mode and auxiliary SKU specify additional configurations for specialized networking scenarios. Disable TCP state tracking specifies whether TCP state tracking is disabled, useful for stateless network configurations. Enable accelerated networking determines whether accelerated networking is enabled, improving performance by reducing latency and CPU usage. Enable IP forwarding allows the network interface card to forward traffic between networks, commonly used for virtual appliances. Migration phase indicates the current stage of the migration process for the resource. It is primarily used when transitioning a classic network interface to an Azure Resource Manager model. DNS servers lists custom DNS servers assigned to the network interface card instead of using Azure-provided DNS. Internal DNS name label specifies an internal DNS name that Azure automatically resolves within the virtual network. IP configurations defines the IP settings for the network interface card. Name is the unique name for this IP configuration. Primary indicates whether this is the primary IP configuration for the network interface card. Private IP address specifies the private IP address assigned to the network interface card. Private IP address version defines whether the private IP is IPv4 or IPv6. Private IP allocation method specifies whether the private IP is dynamically or statically assigned. Application Gateway Backend Address Pools ID connects the network interface card to an application gateway for load balancing. Application Security Groups ID associates the network interface card with an application security group for enhanced security policies. Gateway Load Balancer ID attaches the network interface card to a gateway load balancer for managing traffic. Load Balancer Backend Address Pools ID connects the network interface card to a load balancer backend pool for traffic distribution. Load Balancer Inbound NAT Rules ID links the network interface card to inbound NAT rules for managing external access. Public IP Address ID associates a public IP address with the network interface card for internet connectivity. Subnet ID links the network interface card to a specific subnet within a virtual network. Virtual network taps refers to a deprecated resource in Azure and is not used anymore. Network Security Group ID associates a network security group with the network interface card to control inbound and outbound traffic. Private Link Service ID links the network interface card to a private link service for secure, private connectivity. With that, we are done with the fundamental properties of this resource. If you don't want to configure your resource from scratch, you can choose one of the Clofeed draft resources, where the fields are populated for you in advance, and the chosen options are explained in detail for your reference. In addition, you have the opportunity to discover the usage of this resource within different cloud architectures. Clofee also generates the infrastructure as code automatically in Terraform Bicep and ARM formats to save you time from tedious work.